Dan and Corey here, welcoming you into Libservative.
The great fundamental issue now before our people. We, the people, cannot turn back.
Yeah, welcome in to another rousing rendition of Libservative, intellectual idiots fostering political and cultural literacy, and the world's smartest internet show. Bell the Bodysnatcher on the ones and twos. He, as always, is Corey Walsh.
He's Dan Griffin.
And we have the news week. The news cycle this week was so dumb. This might be the dumbest show we've ever done, I think.
You think so?
Just a bunch of dumb stuff to talk about. Other than the Trump bailout of the farmers, that's kind of an important one, a little bit. But other than that, dude, we just have conservative new media meltdowns all over the board. We have the Senate Democrats introducing a really, really stupid bill that is designed to stop a really, really stupid thing that the Trump Treasury is trying to do. It's just all stupid. Milo on Tucker. Everybody's gay. Nobody's gay, but everybody's gay.
Gay.
That's absolutely right. And yeah, obviously Tim Pool and Candace Owens. We got to talk about the what are they calling it? The Twitter wars, the podcast wars. And I think it mostly has to do with the fact that Donald Trump is basically pissing in the MAGA ball pit, because it's essentially that conservative new media has basically turned into like a high school cafeteria.
Yes,
it's gotten really cliquey. It's gotten really silly. I actually got that from.
I'm okay with it.
Are you? It's entertaining. I will say that.
Entertaining, and you're finding out who the principled ones are and who the grifters are.
It kind of seems like all of them.
Right. Well, I don't know, because the ones that are like the principled ones, they're getting ousted. They're getting voted off the island, Survivor style. And everyone's like, "Yeah, you're out of here, bud." And they're like, "What the fuck did I do? Like, I haven't changed my position one bit." And then it's the ones that are who were out there fucking going, and during Trump's campaign, no new wars, no inflation, America first, are finding out. Well, I mean, they're just moving the goal line and moving the goal line and moving the goal line, or the goalpost, as Trump starts, or at least does everything possible to start a war. Just the other team blinks. The other side blinks.
I guess that's the good news this week. We are not officially at war with Venezuela yet. Corey, are you connected to the right microphone? Let me make sure you sound quiet. I just want to make sure. I could be the crazy one. Just want to make sure you're connected to the right spot. There we go. See, you were connected to the wrong microphone. That's usually me. It's connected to the wrong mic.
Usually on my shit. It's been 8 days since we recorded. I'm just rusty.
It's been so long. We are a day behind.
Although we are going to start years.
Although we are going to start doing shows on Thursdays, because Corey's socialist school schedule is going to get in the way here following the holidays. But that's okay. Once a week, we'll be here talking shit.
Don't get bogged down by all the haters out there.
Thanks, George.
Speaking truth to power, smash that like button and that notification bell. Where should we start, Corey? You want to start with the farm bailout? You've heard about this story, right? Yeah. It's not really a story. It's just Trump is bailing out the farmers. He's going to give them some money, right? Sounds great, right? It sounds awesome.
Because this unforeseen catastrophe that's just been laid at the feet of the farmers was just unpreventable. It's just
totally unpreventable. Yeah.
The government's coming in and swooping in and just saving the agricultural industry, because they just, crops are down.
I just paid
maybe there's something,
$88.
or is it like it couldn't be the government?
It's almost like, and this isn't just a unique to Donald Trump, right? We've seen presidents do these silly things, these administrations do these silly things for as long as we've been alive, which is that they create problems and then they put Band-Aids that are supposedly solve the problems and go, look at how great I am. Trump's just really loud about how he does it. And it makes it always about him. I mean, if you remember, it was probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 episodes ago. If you're a regular listener of the show, you will remember the Truth Social post from Donald Trump where he essentially yelled at ranchers because they just needed to bring their prices down. They just needed to.
That's how an economy works.
And it's
That's
interesting
not
because
socialism.
It kind of ties into the manufacturing thing, right? This is one of the things that drive, me and Corey and anybody who has any semblance of economic literacy. And by no means, folks, are we economic experts. We're not economists on this show. We can just do basic math. And the folks that want to run around and talk, we got to bring manufacturing back to the United States. That's what we need. We got to bring shitty jobs that we've outsourced back to the United States. We have to go back to some utopia where people were hurting themselves on jobs, so we needed to create OSHA.
Right.
And all of these other things.
You always use the term like shitty jobs, and you don't mean shitty jobs as in like a job that gives you meaning, a job that gives you pay. It's just a job that literally is killing you or has
Sucks.
a high risk of killing you, like a shitty environment, like high hazards. Like we're talking jobs that a lot have been outsourced because people in other countries are willing to do it for half the price.
Which is what happens when your economy grows, when you've moved from third to second to a first world country. It's a good thing when crummy
those
jobs are
used to
outsourced.
pay good money, and I think that's the reason why people why he thinks, we just need to bring these back so people make money. But it's like this economy is different. The whole world isn't blown up from World War II anymore. But
how it ties into the tariff situation is this. Okay, we want to bring manufacturing jobs back to the United States. Okay, let's just pretend for a moment that is a good idea. We want to bring manufacturing jobs back to the United States on a large scale. It's really, really hard to do that when you're trying to build factories or you're trying to build facilities for these manufacturing jobs, but all of the materials that you need to build these factories and these places are astronomically tariffed.
Fuck, those were outsourced too?
It's just you can't make
the iron
this
and
shit
the
up.
ore.
So
and then which is funny because then it's like, since we're on the topic of Trump, like one of the companies that is actually like still American, like the steel company that would be like sourcing like the steel if we're trying to make it all American made, American products, American manufacturing, American, all of it, smelting, everything, the pressing, all of it. Trump just proved a plan to let one of those companies get bought by Japan. And then the government gets a golden share.
Nobody's ever been hit like that.
If that's not communism, I don't know what is.
Well, yeah, it's tough to have these discussions with certain people. But as it relates to the farmers, the only reason he needs to bail out the farmers, I shouldn't say the only reason, that's not fair. This has been an industry that's been on a decline for various big government reasons for a long time. I'm not going to pretend like this is all Trump's fault. However, the Trump tariffs are a big part of it.
Oh,
so
no, it's the snake eating its own tail. Like when you look at like this will be like roughly the third bailout for the
farmers
industry, right? Like there was 2018, 2019, 2020. Like just billions and billions of dollars thrown at them. But guess who the money goes to? Not the small farmer that owns 10 acres.
Monsanto.
Yeah, it goes to the big fucking farmers who have an ear of the government to go, hey, put me in the front of the line.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is what we call an oligarchy. And it's another reason that I want to pull my hair out when socialists want to run around and call this stuff capitalism and how we're in end stage capitalism. It's like we have to be in beginning stage capitalism to hit end stage capitalism, just so you know. We don't have that. We have corporations and billionaires that own government. That's not capitalism. It never has been capitalism. It's never going to be capitalism. And then you have Trump saying, "Well, we're gonna take a lot of the tariff money because we're bringing him so much money through tariffs. We're gonna give that money back to the farmers when you could have just not done the tariffs to start with." And maybe we wouldn't be this deep into this situation so far. Bell's got a short clip of Trump discussing this.
Fucking crazy, right? Like,
and it's ridiculous. This is
Trump's
ridiculous.
Economic plan is rocking the boat so much that when the farmers were just minding their own business, not having, like, there's still subsidies and stuff like that. Like there has been since the 20s. It's one of the reasons why we don't have food shortages and starvation in our country like other countries face. It's one of the major reasons, right? And like you sometimes have to pay farmers not to just flood the market with one thing. We need a variety of shit. Like it's some of it makes sense, but these guys are doing this, and Trump comes in and goes, "We're gonna make this twice as expensive for you, and we're basically gonna make your customers not want this anymore." So
go ahead and roll that. Go ahead and roll that quick. Sorry, were you done, Corey? I wasn't.
Oh no, I was just saying. And then he goes, "We're gonna make this just completely unaffordable for your customers and make you lose money. But don't worry, we're gonna tax them more, and then we're gonna take that money and then give it back to you at a lesser rate." And it's like, well, wait, why wouldn't you just leave it the fuck alone in the first place?
it's the whole dude. It really is. It's a socialist concept of let's pool all the money and redistribute it, when the other obvious answer is just let people keep more of their money. It's so simple. Go ahead and roll it, Bill.
I want to take our money. We're doing well because of tariffs. We're doing unbelievable. We're making more money than we ever have made. And by the way, we're going to take some of that tariff money that we made, just to get off the subject for a second. We're going to take some of that tariff money that we made. We're going to give it to our farmers, who are, for a little while, going to be hurt until it kicks in. The tariffs kick into their benefit. So we're going to make sure that our farmers are in great shape because we're taking in a lot of money. I want to take our money. We're
very successful, very rich.
So this is what Trump is saying, and I don't know if enough people realize that this is what he's saying. What he's saying is we're going to take the money that we made you pay to cover the cost of the goods that you were getting from these tariffs, and we're going to give it back to you. Like, how generous of you, Mr. President, that you're going to give me back, if I'm a farmer, you're going to give me back my money, and probably not the same amount that I paid into it in the first place.
Oh no, and most of it's going to large farms. Foreign-owned or multinational companies, including some with ties to Brazil, receive payments because they own U.S. farmland. Like, instead of letting people do with their own money, the government is stripping them of that option and then just giving them pennies on the dollar.
Does that not sound a bit like socialism?
It sounds exactly like fucking socialism. Why do you think Trump and Mamdani get along so well?
$12 billion of taxpayer money is to be band-aided over a problem that he and admins before him
and then the guy
have caused in the first place.
Talk shit about Obamacare or student loans.
The thing about that is he's not wrong about those things.
He's not, but he's doing the same fucking thing.
Just does the same thing.
He just straps a fucking gold 72 font Trump on it and goes, "This is the Trump plan. What do you think of this?" Huh?
Like,
what
okay,
do you think of this, baby?
and even just from a like a lifestyle perspective, how many farmers, like real farmers, and I'm not talking about the owners of Monsanto or the Brazilian companies or the places that you've been
owns
talking about.
35 acres and he's just growing some
Correct. Grows some corn and sells it. How many of those people do you think Trump has ever, I don't know, had a conversation with?
a quick handshake at a rally, probably.
Maybe, right? And you and I have met people who farmed, right? Like, we're not farmers, we're suburban people, but we know people who have had farms. I knew a guy in Ohio.
An orchard.
I knew a guy in Ohio who was doing 100,000 bushels of corn a year. Like, this is what he does. This is what his grandfather did. It's what his great grandfather did. He just grew corn. That's what they do, right? And you meet these people, and if Trump knew anything about the sort of working class or farmer base that he proclaimed to be in support of all through the campaign trail, and everybody believed him, and to be honest with you, going back to the campaign, I don't really blame people because he did have a better message than Democrats did. I think you would agree with that, Corey. He had a better message at the time. If you knew anything, if you knew the first thing about these people, he would know that, like, subsidies isn't what they want. They don't want the government handing them money to do their thing. They just want to be able to grow their crops and sell them at a reasonable price and feed their family. They're not like, I don't think, most farmers aren't trying to get rich. They're trying to do the thing that they do and have enough money to be comfortable, hand the farm off to their kids one day, and feel proud of the work that they've done.
That's fair.
It's not about, oh, we don't have enough money. Like, are they going to take it? Sure, they're going to take it. Of course, they have to take it. If they don't take it, they're not going to have a farm anymore, right? Of course they're going to take it. That's not the point. But it's that socialist thing of, like, let's just throw money at it. Let's just throw some money at it. By the way, money that these people have already paid in, you and I have paid in, when you could just let these people keep more of their money, stop tariffing things, and by the way, reduce regulations to where I can just go. We talked about this a couple weeks ago when we were talking about the ranchers, where I can just go, if I want to just buy corn directly from a farm somewhere, I can. If I want to buy meat from a rancher somewhere, I can. But there are a million different little big government roadblocks that prevent me from doing that, because in the name of keeping us safe, we have to stay safe. As if the free market can't keep us safe. And I'm tired of this. I'm tired of the argument that it can't. Well, there's going to be really bad actors. They're going to poison your food. There are razor blades in the Halloween candy argument. That's what it is. You remember that when we were kids, Corey?
Yeah.
Mom and Dad had to check all the Halloween candy because there might be razor blades in the Halloween candy. That's what government does when it comes to our ability to buy food. We have to make sure, we have to pick through. We have to make sure there aren't any razor blades in the Halloween candy. When if you just got rid of those regulations, so many of them that are unnecessary, and all the government red tape, A, food would be cheaper, and B, farmers could make more money. And the asshole middleman in the middle would get nothing and would actually have to do a real job and would actually have to contribute to society rather than living off of some job that only exists because of bullshit, as you say, and I don't disagree, socialist policies.
Yeah, like the what you're referring to when it comes to like laws that restrict you from just buying just meat from a cow, like sitting there watching a farmer who can either cut up the meat, because if he can, he'll probably have a butcher on staff. Just cut up the meat, put it in some wax paper, and hand it to you. It's because the Federal Meat Inspection Act All meat sold to the public must be slaughtered in a USDA inspected facility, processed under continuous inspection, and labeled with a USDA inspection stamp. I get that when it's commercialized meat and it's being packaged and then distributed to a restaurant or a supermarket, or something like that, like 100 miles away. That's understandable. But watching meat get stripped off of something that was like from the call, like from culling it, and then just throwing it in some wax paper and handing it to you. Who needs to inspect it? Why does that need to be inspected?
Government does. Corey, the farmer might have put a razor blade in that meat.
I guess, right. Yeah, there might be fentanyl in there.
I mean, honestly, God, dude, it's like, I don't know why I would ask this stupid question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. What's next? Are we going to bail out consumers for the cost of inflated imported goods? I asked that question in jest. Well, wait a minute. I wouldn't say no, because it's been done before. How many government checks have we gotten from the Biden administration, the first Trump administration, the Bush administration?
That's fair.
Because all you have to do is, because this is how uninformed the American people are on basic economics. If we just throw them some dollars and we can stave off the inflation until my term is over, Mr. President, doesn't have to be my problem anymore.
Yeah.
Any way
is a 4-year solution.
Any way that they can devalue your dollar by injecting more dollars into the money supply, they will do it, because there's always that little short-term bump, right? Inflation doesn't hit overnight when that $2,000 check hits your mailbox. And it feels real nice to have that $2,000 check. It's what happens 6 months, a year,
When
2 years, 4 years, 8 years down the line.
When there is compounded on an exponential level of everybody having that $2,000 and then spending it.
And don't you love too, Corey?
Like,
how,
for example, like I put the $1,200 stimmy into an account. Now it's worth $6,000. Is that growth or is that just inflation? Like,
it's phony.
Like,
it's phony. The bubble is coming.
Oh,
I don't know when it's going to hit. They might be able to kick the can down the road at the Federal Reserve for 10 more years. I don't know how long they're going to be able to do it, but at some point, anytime there is artificial growth of the money supply, at some point, the chickens come home to roost. That's exactly what happened in 2008 when you had banks taking these terrible bets on these horrible mortgages for people that they knew they weren't going to be able to pay back these mortgages. We'll just keep taking that bet. We'll keep taking that bet. We'll keep taking that bet. And we'll get out just in time. A lot of them did. A lot of them didn't, but it didn't matter, because what happened? They were bailed out at the end of the day. Because especially the big banks, I don't know how many socialists I have to say this to and how often I have to scream it at the top of the hills before they actually listen, because they like to do this thing about George W. Bush privatized the banks. And I look at them and I go, if you seriously think that the big banks are privatized, I have oceanfront property in Kansas to sell you.
right. Yeah,
Because
they were
there's
already privatized. What he did was he made it to where he stripped away regulations where they could sell mortgages, while also, and like they didn't have to have the money in the bank to like back the money that they were loaning for the the houses they were lending to.
And why is that? Because there's a central bank, because there's the Federal Reserve exists.
Here's the thing, Dan.
Because you're not on the gold standard anymore. You can just take
that's
go
not
ahead.
necessarily a terrible idea. Right? That's not a terrible idea to let the banks, like, if you have a big amount of money, you should be able to lend it out however you want. But guess what? If you're a bad lender and you fucking lose all that money,
you go bye-bye.
that's it. You're done. You're out of here.
You go bye-bye.
Don't have daddy government that's supposed to come in and bail you out.
Exactly.
That's the problem. That was the problem.
And that's the whole thing about when socialists want to try to tell me that banks are privatized. They're not privatized. They're not private.
They're subsidized.
They're not privatized in an actual meaningful way.
Right.
But goddamn it, it's capitalism. Capitalism's the problem. Absolutely, they should.
One big bank should be able to fail, and then you watch 5 or 6 banks come in, and like obviously there's the FDIC. You know, people would be reimbursed, they get insured with their money or whatever. But if those banks fail, that should be it. Just like if you had a landscaping company and you did a fucking shitty job and you were putting ruts in someone's yard and you were leaving all the clippings on the grass and you had Harley riders coming through going grass clippings and slipping on the grass in the street and you're getting sued and you're not showing up to jobs and your fucking landscaping business goes out and goes under. That's it. You did a shitty job. Sorry.
That's the whole thing, because you always get this argument about like, well, we need regulation. We need big daddy government to protect people from these mean, terrible capitalists, because you can't explain to them that the market solves these problems. And that's exactly what you just mentioned, Corey. For, you know, like you just mentioned about the landscaping company. If I own a landscaping company and I do a shitty job,
and I own a landscaping company, and I say,
you do a great job,
same price, I could do a better job,
or even for a slightly higher price, right? It doesn't even matter, right? You know what I mean? Like, because value is different to everybody. If I do a shitty job, and that customer tells their neighbor, don't hire this guy, he does a shitty job. And then that guy hires, and then it tells 6 other people, don't hire this guy, he does a really shitty job. The market works these things out. And it's no different than with so many different regulations, right? So if you own a company that builds some widget, and they build a pretty good widget, but you then find out that, or some excellent sleuthy reporter comes in and does an investigation on my company and finds out that I'm dumping oil into some river somewhere. And everybody freaks out. Fuck you, I'm not buying that shit anymore. You're poisoning my water. Why the hell would I buy your widget?
Right.
Like that's what people don't understand. Like,
right? You sue them.
Right. So like
they're infringing on your life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness.
There is an incentive with just the free market not to poison the fucking river. You know what I'm saying? This is the part that is really hard to get people that support socialist policies to understand.
Because when those things used to happen, it was actually a time when they didn't know that it actually fucking that's what it did, kind of thing, right? Like, no
big daddy government came in to bail out those companies back then.
Right.
They dealt with the consequences. They cleaned up their act or they went away. That's how it works. The free market does solve these problems. And trying to get people to understand that support socialist policies, I don't know how we got down this rabbit hole, but it was fun.
It's
really hard.
I'm on board that regulations, there should only be enough regulations to ensure that companies don't infringe on like their neighbors, whether it's neighborhoods or other companies, like they infringe upon their life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. They shouldn't be just burning plastic in their shop that's getting into the air that people around them are inhaling when we know that could possibly cause cancer.
But again, if they were, these are things the free market can solve, which is why
a free market, but
it's also why a free media, an unbiased media, is super important.
Yeah,
because how you find out about these things.
But when you have the media, the government, and these corporations in bed with each other, these big businesses will absolutely lobby for these regulations because they'd rather pay 100. Like if they're making, like companies making $100 million a year, if you only have to pay 10 million in regulations to ensure that no one else can start a business because they can't afford that 10 million in startup costs.
Yep, it stifles competition.
Like when a company, when they do like, like a marketing plan or like a business plan, you ever hear of a SWOT analysis?
Mm-hmm.
It's just like a box, 4 squares in a box. You got your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats. Your strengths and weaknesses are internal. Your opportunities and threats are external. When you have an external threat to your company that is just other businesses inventing a way to do it better and more efficient than you, and you can sleep at night peacefully because you can just remove that whole variant from your business plan, you could focus on other things. You mean to tell me instead of trying to stay ahead of the business and spend all this money in R&D to try to create a better product, to stay ahead of the business, make more efficient ways, do CPMs, continuous process measurements, and things like that. And instead of doing that, I just have to pay the government $10 million to create a regulation basically that I basically pay to play and keeps all the other all the other businesses from even having a chance.
Keeps competition out of the market.
Fuck yeah, you're gonna do that.
I've said it 100 times on this show. It's the John D. Rockefeller Standard Oil thing. He kept collecting monopolies under a free market, and competition kept coming in, and he would undercut them or he'd buy them out. And he had to do that over and over again because he would jack up the prices. Then more competition would come in. He'd have to undercut him and buy him out again. And then one day he went, a really good way to solve this problem would be, let's buy some politicians. And hence started the cronyism that we have today. Say that again, Bell?
Why we don't have alternatives. That's also why we don't have alternatives, because he bought out all the alternatives as well and demonized them. But you wanted your point.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely right, and that was also
we're kind of taught that monopolies are bad, and it's like
they're good. They're good in a free market.
They can be.
No, because a monopoly in a truly free market, what does that actually mean? A monopoly in a truly free market means that a company is providing a great good or service, and doing it at a reasonable price, and not harming consumers in any way. A monopoly in a free market means there's just no need for competition. Now, generally in a free market, that's never going to happen. There's always somebody who can do it a little bit better, or there's always somebody who can create, maybe a cheaper version of what you're doing that isn't quite as good that some people will buy. Like, monopolies don't actually exist in a free market. But to the extent that they could exist, they wouldn't be a bad thing. I think that's what Bell was about to say as he popped in.
No, what I was going to say to that point is it's the point of Pepsi or Coke. It's a preference at that point. So
100%.
The monopoly really cannot exist.
Not in a free market, unless there's just no other way to do the thing. Like if I create a widget, and it functions well, I have an ethical company, and I price my product well, and everybody's happy, great. But maybe Corey comes along and says, you know what? I think I could do this a little bit cheaper. It might not be as good, but it'll be a little bit cheaper. So now Corey creates the same widget that's maybe a little bit more affordable, that people that make a little bit less money could now buy that widget. It won't be as good, but it'll be something close to that. Or maybe somebody comes along, Bell comes along and creates that widget, but makes a premium version of it. The really, really expensive, the best quality, and now rich people can buy that one. You know what I'm saying?
Are you explaining penetrative pricing versus luxurious pricing?
I think so.
That's how a market's supposed to work.
I know. That's exactly how a market's supposed to work. There's room for everyone in a free market. There's room for everyone. We can all be out there. And to the extent that monopolies exist in that way, they don't exist long. You know what I mean? Like if I invent something brand new, this new widget, I'm going to be the only one on the market for a little while, right? I'll be the only one because I created it. My patent runs out. Corey comes along and says, I can do it cheaper, or I can do it better, or maybe both.
Right.
And now we have competition.
Or you create the best bike in the world, a pedal bike, and you're cornering the market. And then I come out with an electric bike for the same price when the people don't have to pedal. The whole market changes. Like horse and carriage versus car. If someone comes out with once completely autonomous cars come out to the market in a safe way, because we're headed that way. And then when they're affordable, people are going to be buying those. You're going to see Uber go away. You're going to see other industries die out.
And what's interesting about that too, Corey, because it kind of goes along with what muscle cars are now. like there's still a market for those. There's a secondary market for like old classic cars. People enjoy those as a hobby kind of thing. There are still mechanics that work on them, right?
Yeah,
or at least there
you
should
could say
be.
that for any industry. Look at the music industry, like records.
Vinyl made a comeback.
Vinyl made a comeback. There's a tape, cassette tape, like niche industry.
You're running into it. You know what the next one's going to be? Just because this is a fun topic to talk about.
Tracks.
You know the next one's going to be? No. Wait, hold on. What'd you say? Gay products? Is that what you said?
8 tracks.
No. Movie theaters. Movie theaters are going away. They are all struggling because nobody wants to go to the movies and see a feature film that in 2 weeks they can watch on their 80-inch flat screen that they paid not that much money for these days.
Yeah, so that's something, right? Like the theater industry is being affected by optimal home entertainment systems.
I personally enjoy going to the movies. I don't go as often as I would like to because, I can sit at home and watch a movie. And it's expensive, but it's one of those things that 20 years from now, there could be a nostalgic feel for it. Somebody opens up a small like let's say in the next 5 years, movie theaters are gone. They just don't exist anymore. They're gone. And 20 years after that, somebody comes up with the idea of like, you know what? I think we could get the nostalgia. I think we could build a nostalgic business model here. Opens up some small local movie theater and starts running films and does really well because it's the only one in town. We've already seen it happen once. I mean, drive-in movies made this really weird little comeback for
I was just gonna
about 10 years.
I was going to say, maybe we should just open one.
A drive-in theater?
Yeah, make it to where, you pull in.
It sounds like a terrible investment.
Liquor license for a drive-in theater.
Yeah.
Because then you could do movies. You just do old movies, and then you just do sports events.
Yeah. This is how markets work. Things go away. It is what it is. I mean, like you said, your point about music, it's all digital now. Everybody's got a phone. You can pay $10 a month on Apple or Spotify, and you get every song you've ever wanted to listen to.
Because
I understand, but that's old. But again, that's
better. Yeah,
I understand. That's a niche market, though, right? Not everybody's an audiophobe. Some people just. I'm not an audiophobe. I don't really give a shit. I just want to go to the gym and listen to fucking Rihanna while I'm on the bench press. I don't really care if it's from a CD or a vinyl or any of that. I just want to jam out to Shut Up and Drive.
And go to the gym. The disc always skips when I'm running on the treadmill.
People used to do that. People used to do that, though. That's what I want. So, yeah, but you're right. There's a niche market. There's a reason people are buying vinyls again. There's a nostalgic thing. Dads teach their kids about, the sound of vinyl, and they pass it on, and there's a niche market for it. I didn't expect that conversation to go.
I'm one of those people. I have like 300 vinyls.
I don't really care. I just want to listen to my song. See, we're different that way.
I just want to dance. Oh, and look, guess what? The market has...
You're gay!
Says the guy listening to Rihanna.
There's nothing gay about Rihanna, my brother. Ask Belle.
No, she's a very, very, very attractive woman.
Great music, dude. There's nothing that gets me pumped more than Rihanna does.
I didn't know she was black.
Yeah, it's the music.
It's definitely it is the music. I'm not watching her as I'm working out. I'm not watching Rihanna videos.
I am.
I guess neither did the people. Senate Democrats introduced a bill this past week, and it's maybe the dumbest bill we've seen introduced in a while.
I don't know.
I think of the.
Yeah, I'll let you introduce the introduction of this bill, and then I'll tell you the one that I'm thinking of.
That's dumber than this one. So, Senate Democrats introduced a bill to block. Hold on, I'm gonna say it the way that it's being introduced, and then I'm gonna say what it actually is. So, the way it's being introduced is that Senate Democrats are introducing a bill to block Trump from putting his face on a dollar coin. Now, what the bill actually is they're spinning it as not allowing the minting of a currency with a living or sitting president on it, but they're also doing it because it's Trump. Like, can we be real about that? Like, if Biden did this, I mean, honestly, if Biden did this, Senate Republicans would probably be throwing a fit about it. Let's just be real, because that's just the way this goes. But they're only
100%.
doing it because of the guy that's in office. And all I could think of when I saw this was, I fucking hate it here. What is more dumb? Trump trying to put his face on a dollar coin, or Dems introducing a bill to block it? And I think that's a very reasonable question.
Yeah, they're both dumb. It's like, what are we doing here? The other one I was going to bring up is like when they all got together to vote on condemning socialism.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
We just went on a rant of how the market is failing people, right? And how like capitalism is a joke because it's not what we have. Like the capitalism we have is a joke, I guess is how I should word it.
Because it's not capitalism.
And how it's, you know, farmers are needing to be bailed out because they can't just run their business effectively because the government is allowing them to. And everyone is like, I don't know, like, oh my God, all these young kids, they want socialism, so we got to condemn it. What? Oh man.
Well,
like,
and then
have you ever, like, when's the last time you actually looked at a president on a piece of paper money or coin?
dude, it's so funny you mentioned that, because the other day, actually it was just yesterday, I was sitting in my truck and I had some quarters in my little console, and I picked one up, and I didn't even realize that in the last couple of years they flipped George Washington's face around on the quarter. He's not facing the same direction anymore, and his head is bigger, and I had no fucking idea. I just did. I had no clue, because I looked and then I'm like, that does not look like the quarters I'm used to looking at. And I picked up an old quarter and I went, oh, yep, they flipped him around. He's not facing the same direction anymore.
All right, I collect a lot of coins, and the Franklin Mint actually produces a $1 coin every single year of each president.
Is that real?
Dead though, like deceased presidents.
Very real.
Right?
No.
Yeah, it's not the sitting president.
I think that there is technically already like a law in place with the Federal Reserve. I don't know if it's a law or if it's like a guideline.
I literally I already have a Donald Trump $1 coin.
I trust.
Is it a commemorative coin? Like those are allowed.
Yeah, all from the Franklin Mint, and you can.
But Franklin Mint is all commemorative points. That's,
dude, that's
not the Federal Reserve minting them.
So where?
Like it's not going to have a little D on it. Where else are they made? Delaware.
So what kind of $1 coin is this? Is this like the Sacagawea $1 coin where it's going to be in circulation? Is it going to be like, you know what I mean? Like what kind of? I'm gonna look more into this.
That's fair. That's a fair question. I think that's the idea. I think this is going to be a circulated coin. Now, here's the thing, and Bell can tell us if I'm wrong about that. But like, the coin was apparently, and honestly, I actually don't even hate this.
Yeah. So the Contraction Act so that's already a fucking law. The current federal law on living people on U.S. currency, a general tradition and historical law. There is both law and tradition in U.S. currency designs that living people generally cannot appear on money. The Contraction Act of 1866 says only the portrait of a deceased individual may appear on U.S. currency and securities. So
Sweet.
Yeah, this is you know what this is? This is fucking Sri Tanadar throwing out impeachment bills just for the fucking clout. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? People are out in America struggling. Everyone's already pissed off at Trump because the economy isn't what they want it to be. People aren't getting what was promised when it comes to lower prices, like an affordability. Now affordability is a hoax, apparently, even though that's what the fucker ran on. And thank God the Democrats are there, Dan. Thank God the other side of the pendulum is there to put a bill in place to make sure.
Thank
Trump
God
doesn't
thank
put
God
it-
they're stopping fascism.
Oh, actually, Dan, you know what? They're stopping inflation. They're
Ah,
stopping the printing of
that's
money.
true. That's fair. They're stopping the printing of new money. Bell, what did you have for us? I'm bringing you back in.
So it's not even, it is a commemorative coin, but it's a 250th anniversary of
That's where I was going to go
America
next.
coin with his face. So
I don't have an
That's
issue
all.
with creating a coin to celebrate the 250th anniversary of the United States. I don't really give a shit.
neither do I. But if he wants to put his face all over it, it's kind of whack for sure. But like an America coin, I'm all about it.
America coin. Let's put an actual American hero. Let's put Ron Paul on a coin. Can we do that? Oh, he's still alive too, though. But can we put Ron Paul on a commemorative coin? Real American? Or Hulk Hogan? He's dead. Hulk Hogan's dead. Oh, wait, no. A lot of people would be upset about that. There are still a lot of people who are mad at Hulk Hogan for being racist. He did say some racist shit. Oh, it's just me having a bad idea. It's okay. Shit, I didn't pull a video of Halle Berry. Did you guys see Halle Berry murking Gavin Newsom over some California menopause bill? Bell, see if you can find that real quick. It shouldn't be that hard to find. So Halle Berry was at some conference talking about how Gavin Newsom's not going to be governor forever, and she was mostly upset about some.
He vetoed. So he vetoed a bill twice to have money set aside in like California's Medicaid to help women with menopause.
Yeah, and it makes complete sense that Halle Berry would be. By the way, she still looks unbelievable. My God, is she's just never not going to be hot. It's never going to happen.
No.
She's like 57 years old. I don't know how old she is. But it makes sense that she would be doing it because she did go on this tour talking about how dry her vagina was for a while. And so she is the perfect spokeswoman for this. Here we go. Bell found it. I knew we could rely on Bell. Go ahead and throw that up there, Bell.
She never met me, brother.
God damn, she still looks good. Unreal.
And with the way he's overlooked women, half the population, by devaluing us in midlife, he probably should not be our next president either.
Ooh.
Just saying.
Halle Berry isn't afraid to speak candidly when it comes to advocating for women's midlife health care.
Well, that's
At
the
the
one
New
you
York
found. I
Times
watched
Steel
this
Book
one for a
Summit
part
on
of it.
December 3rd,
and then,
the Oscar-winning
switched to
actress
one about
stunned
The View talking
attendees
about
with her
it.
bold criticism of Gavin Newsom minutes before the California governor took the stage. Earlier in her address, Berry discussed women's health, aging in Hollywood, and praised Illinois for becoming the first state to mandate coverage for hormone replacement therapy. But when the focus shifted to her home state of California, the 59-year-old made her frustrations known.
59.
And
God damn.
my great state of California, my very own governor, Gavin Newsom, has vetoed our menopause bill, not 1, but 2 years in a row. But that's okay, because he's not going to be governor forever.
Assembly Bill 432, known as the Menopause Care Equity Act, sought to extend insurance coverage for menopause-related care and treatment. In October, Governor Newsom vetoed the bill for a second time. The Catwoman star began openly sharing her struggle with perimenopause last year, following a misdiagnosis which prompted her to found
this is her talking about her
a
dry
wellness
vagina.
company that offers menopause symptom
That's
care
because she hasn't met me,
programs.
brother.
In her summit address, the actress made her thoughts on the current state of women's midlife healthcare abundantly clear.
If I and my doctors had such little information and had no answers at all about what was happening to my body, I was sure that there were other women out there wandering through this same darkness without a roadmap. I mean,
It's probably
let
true.
me ask you this honestly. Can you imagine if men had a medical condition that disrupted their sleep, brain function, and sex life? We'd be calling that a health crisis on par with COVID. and the whole world would shut down until they figured this shit out. And you know it's right.
In response to Barry's comments, a spokesperson for
actually
Gavin
probably not
Newsom
wrong.
sent
Look
the
at
following
Viagra.
statement to People.
I think
The Lawyer
Viagra is
has deep
covered by
admiration for Ms.
insurance,
Barry's
but
advocacy.
medicine for women for menopause isn't. That is a little fucked up. Come on.
Problem is though, because I get it, but it's like,
But then Gavin Newsom's reasoning for like blocking it is he goes, well, it's because it's going to raise prices for everyone to make this happen. And it's like, why is that? Oh, that's right. Because our insurance industry is so fucked up because the big government being so wrapped up in it that people are going to have to pay for it through their premiums that are subsidized by the government through taxes. And yeah, it's.
when if you just freed up the market, women could pay for their own menopause care and it would be relatively cheap. It would be. I mean, like because you brought up Viagra, right? So I remember having this argument back in the day about how like Viagra can be covered by insurance, but what was the argument?
Tampons.
Birth control. There was the argument about whether birth control should be covered by insurance. There's a couple of things here. One is that birth control is like $1 a pill. I mean, you're talking $30 a month, right? Viagra's way more expensive. Now, again, there are idiotic government regulations for why Viagra is so much more expensive. But Viagra also has a medical necessity. It can be used to treat other things than not being able to get your dick hard. Birth control, not so much. You know what I'm saying? It's a voluntary prescription.
That's not necessarily true. Some women take Viagra. I mean, not Viagra.
Viagra? No, they don't. They don't take Viagra.
Women will take birth control to stabilize,
regulate their
hormones.
periods. Yeah, stimulate. Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah, like there are things like some women have wild mood swings and wild hormones, and like Viagra, or not Jesus, birth control can help regulate that. And so I would say that no, it is something that that is probably like it's not just to not get pregnant. Like it does a lot more for a woman than just.
Yeah, but come on, Corey. That's mostly what it's used for. There are some.
Yeah. Okay. Oh. Okay. All right. Wait. Hold on.
I know what you're gonna say.
You're gonna say that, but then use the argument that Viagra can be used for other things when we know what it's mostly used for.
It was originally created as a heart prescription.
Okay.
That's what it was created for.
And it barely does that. And in fact, there's probably a lot of old men having heart attacks because they took Viagra and could get their dick up and then had a heart attack in the act. I wouldn't even know where to begin to look up that data, but I bet you it's more than one.
Where are the randomized controlled trials?
Right. How many heart attacks has Viagra caused? Look that up, Bell. See if you can find any of that data.
Oh, he's going to find it. Source?
Viagra.com. And it says 0.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not going to destroy Halle Berry for attacking Gavin Newsom. But I am going to destroy Halle Berry for the reasons why she's doing so. Like, first of all,
destroy Halle Berry.
Well, you said it, not me. Yeah, she is unbelievable. What do you got, Bill?
Guys, remember when they were like unhealthy people died of COVID? They're claiming that no healthy person has died of a heart attack due to Viagra. However, there has been several deaths from people on Viagra that have had underlying health conditions.
I never sucked any ding-dongs.
This literally sounds like what they would say about like a vaccine or anything like that.
Yes.
And we're not necessarily anti-vax on our show, but like the wording on some of these
writings on the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Halle Berry maybe isn't the person to deliver this message. Like you're really rich.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. No,
really rich and successful Hollywood actress who at 59 years old, by the way, is just still unbelievably beautiful. But it comes off a little bit hollow coming from somebody like Halle Berry. And when you factor in the idea that Gavin Newsom is supposed to be like this interesting leftist that is going to be this next presidential nominee, I still kind of like what she's saying. Like, you know what I mean? I'm a little bit torn on this whole thing.
No, I'm not really. Like,
I don't mind the attack.
Women should probably be able to have this like menopause medicine covered by insurance.
To the extent that insurance should exist in the form that it does, I would agree.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't exist in the form that it does.
Oh, I 100% agree with you. Like, you know, you and I are idealists, but we have to try to ground ourselves in the scenario that we're actually in. And the people who don't really follow politics like sports and know the insides and outs of it, you know, they're going to this is going to be a tough one for Gavin Newsom. But then when it comes down to brass tacks and he's running for president in 2028, and he's going to be like, yeah, I did that, but hey, I'm not Trump.
Can you
like,
hold on?
He's right. He's not Trump. Let's vote for him.
This would be interesting. Well, that's fair. But can you imagine if in 2028, if Gavin Newsom actually is running for president and they resurface this video of somebody like Halle Berry shitting on him over
I'll be the
women's
one sharing it.
I agree. Over women's health. It's going to be so Halle Berry will be the one that will be attacked for the reason why whoever the next Republican gets elected in 2028. If a Republican wins in 2028, it'll be Halle Berry's fault.
Just like it was George Clooney's fault for Joe Biden.
For Kamala. And for Joe Biden and then Kamala.
Celebrities. That's funny.
I know. Do you think Tim Pool faked the shooting at his house?
I don't know. I have the
police report,
the press release from Andy. How do you say his last name? It's NGO.
Andy No.
Andy No. The G is silent.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, like Garage.
Or like Det Win.
He got blasted with a lock one time by Antifa.
Yeah, he did.
Oh my God. Oh, who did? Andy No or Tim Pool?
Go ahead and set the
in Portland or something.
Go ahead and set the premise of the story.
What do you refer, Terry?
Share this.
So Tim Pool took to Twitter a few nights ago, as you're listening to this, saying that shots were fired on or around his property and didn't go directly to the police. Had his own security review footage or whatever it was from around the property.
There was a dark sedan.
Apparently there was a dark sedan in the neighborhood firing off shots. Now, I'll give Tim Pool a little bit of credit because he kind of covered his ass a little bit. He came on his show and he said, and I'm paraphrasing, so Tim Pool, don't sue me for defamation. Where he said, well, you know, maybe it could have just been some goofballs firing off guns. I live in rural West Virginia. Maybe that was the case. He did kind of back himself up with that. And
could have been someone's exhaust backfiring.
He has since been called out, mostly by Candace Owens, for perhaps faking it, because that's going to kind of set up the whole premise for this conversation, which is these conservative wars within conservative new media. But you have the police press release, Corey.
Right.
What do the cops say?
Andy No comes out and he goes, I have contacted the sheriff's office in West Virginia to inquire about the possible shooting incident at Tim Pool's podcast studio late on December 5th. The Berkeley County Sheriff's
Which
Office
is at his house, right? Like this is like it's on his property, is it not?
I'm assuming so.
Whatever. Does it really matter?
Berkeley County Sheriff Office
some property
sent me
he
a press
owns.
release saying that the incident was reported to them by pool security and that they responded to the property. The security reported hearing loud bangs when a dark gray sedan drove by multiple times.
It's just a child beating on pots.
So
and
someone's
pans.
driving by, shooting a gun, and then driving by again and shooting a gun. It literally sounds like someone was in a gray sedan and they were fucking around with like their exhaust or something, and then driving it, and like, or just some kids like revving it to get that backfire going, pop, 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 and like. So the sheriff's office is asking anyone with information about the incident to contact them. The press release itself says, on Sunday, December 6, 2025 at 04:48 hours, deputies were dispatched to a residence on Redacted regarding a report of suspicious circumstances. The caller represented himself as private security and indicated a dark gray sedan drove by multiple times on Friday, December 5th. So they waited 2 days to even call. Multiple times on Friday, December 5th, 2025, and again on this date. The caller reported hearing loud bangs from the tree line and saw the dark sedan driving by. No further relevant information was provided at the time to responding deputies. Deputies cleared the call. On the same day, a Berkeley County deputy criminal investigator followed up with this call and requested video footage from the residence in question. An individual representing himself to the security advised and representing himself to the security advised the owner of the residence did not wish to provide the requested video recording. At the submission of this press release, the requested video footage has not been provided. The reports of shots being fired at this residence cannot be substantiated at this time. The Berkeley County's Sheriff's Office requires anyone with information regarding evidence related to this call to contact Deputy Amber Weidman at 304-267-7000. To answer the numerous press inquiries concerning this matter, if our investigators are provided with evidence that a crime was committed, appropriate investigative follow-up will be conducted. Our office has no further comment at this time.
So if it were anybody but Tim
the police
Pool,
are basically saying they said they heard noises.
Yeah. But we don't know.
That's it.
So if it were anybody but Tim Pool, I might take this seriously. Because
I wouldn't. I sure as shit wouldn't. I don't give a shit who it is. You know why?
No. But here's
because
why.
in
I'm
my
gonna say
city fucking Facebook group page and on my community's Facebook page, every single goddamn time there's a loud bang or a loud boom, everyone is like, was that a gunshot?
Yeah. Well,
these darters are probably sitting in their house, and I'm telling you, it was either someone shooting Roman candles out of their fucking car or it was a car fucking exhaust backfiring.
But here's why it makes it so much less credible, because it's Tim Pool.
And you didn't even give them the video footage if you were really that concerned.
But wait, Corey. The reason it's so much less credible because it's Tim Pool is because Tim Pool has made a career out of talking about how people want to kill him. How often does he get on his show and talk? And I don't know, because I can't listen to more than 14 seconds of Tim Pool before I fall asleep. I don't understand why he has a following. Is part of it jealousy? Maybe. That's fine. Accuse me of that. I don't really give a shit. I don't get it. I just don't get it. But this guy he starts talking about himself. He's been talking about how people want to kill him for years right now. And it's just for a while now. And it's like, dude, nobody takes you that seriously. Your show and the video that I'm going to have Belle play in just a second is I'm going to give credit to our girl Blakely for calling this out, because I hadn't thought about it this way, but it's absolutely correct. Tim Pool's show is nothing more than a tabloid rag. It's never been any more than that. That's all it's ever been. He goes on Michael Malice's show just a couple of weeks ago and spouts off about how a civil war is coming soon because of the way that the left operates. The left is going to cause a civil war. I don't know if you know this.
Do we just have
I don't know if
pump out content?
Yes,
do tabloids.
That's what we have to do. That's what I'm trying to turn our show into now. Can we just be a more entertaining IRL?
Okay, I'm sorry. Yes.
Go ahead and play Blakely for us here, Bell, because this is absolutely outstanding.
You know what my favorite thing about this fight is that this is what the right wing creates.
Talking about the fight between Candace Owens and Tim Pool.
And be, oh my gosh, dude, I can't believe it. Like the way that Candace Owens would go there. You profited off of conspiracy theories for years. Your entire fucking show is nothing but culture war slop, lies, and conspiracy theories. You bitches sat there on your show. You lied about the 2020 election. You lied about mail-in balloting. You lied and claimed that there was evidence in a Kraken and every fucking thing else when there was zero evidence of it. You lied nonstop about the LGBTQ plus community. You bitches, like Tim Pool, lied and lied and lied and lied and lied and lied and lied. Conspiracy mongering after conspiracy mongering for fucking clicks because his show is a tabloid rag. And then he has the nerve to turn around and say to Candace Owens, you're going too far. No, you don't get to do that, Timmy Smollett. This is called the chickens fucking coming home with Ruth. Candace Owens' conspiracy theories are the logical endpoint to the shit you bitches have been playing for years. It's like all you guys all of a sudden pearl clutching about Nick Fuentes when it's like he is the logical endpoint of your ideology. It's like you guys have been pushing and pushing and pushing this shit. And then when a couple people actually come up and go, let's pull it further. And now you want to clutch your beanie and be like, there's gambling in this stuff. There's conspiracy theories in this establishment. Oh no, that's not credible. It's honestly just giving jealous. It seems like you're just jealous that she took it further. Also, yeah, you don't get to have sexy private meetings with Netanyahu and then pretend you're independent.
She nails it. I mean, she does it every time. She is just a feisty leftist, and I don't agree with her ideology because I'm not a leftist, but goddamn, she's principled and she nails it. She nails it every time.
Oh yeah, I love me some Blakely.
She nails it absolutely every time, and that is
Blakely, if you're listening, you want to come out on our show? Go ahead.
Yeah, well, she's not listening.
And she's not coming on our show.
Yeah, that kind of brings up.
I mean, I would let her, but I doubt she'd be like, "Nah, I don't know who the fuck these guys are."
Oh yeah, we'd have her on for sure. But that's exactly right. She's exactly right. That Tim Pool has made a career out of just these unfalsifiable claims. Like the claims that he makes, you can't falsify them. You can't say that they're not true. But that's what so many of these shows are now. They're all Alex Jones. But Alex Jones is the OG. And Alex Jones, as we move into our next topic, which is these high school cliques in conservative media, Alex Jones, he doesn't shit on anybody else. Like, I've always found Alex Jones to be, I think he's just
on politicians.
He's a true believer. He's a true believer. He's fucking nuts. Don't get me wrong. He's fucking insane, but he's a true believer. And I think he's generally a decent guy. Obviously, we know the Sandy Hook thing, huge mistake, huge problem, wasn't good.
Hey, careful,
for anybody
Candace.
that's gonna.
That's not what happened to him.
For anybody that's gonna say that, but we have Tim Pool versus Candace Owens right now. This is we have to talk about the high school cliques here in conservative media, and this does tie into Trump pissing in the MAGA ball pit, because at the end of the day, most of this shit is Trump's fault. So you have Tim Pool versus Candace Owens, and it's all about who loves Charlie Kirk more, or who respects Charlie Kirk more.
Charlie Kirk, but yeah, the pandering and the songs and all this shit around Charlie Kirk, like Jesus Christ.
The conservative new media landscape is basically breaking off into high school cliques. My good friend Jeff Mell is the one who pointed it out in that direction, and I left it, so I'm running with it. It's like Real Housewives of MAGA at this point. The issue with new media on the conservative side right now isn't that they lie to push the establishment narrative like corporate media does. They're all just turning into Alex Jones, where when you look for a conspiracy around every single corner, you're going to find a conspiracy. When you go hunting for monsters, if you're going to hunt for Bigfoot, you're going to find Bigfoot. You're going to find that giant...
Actually, I don't know if that's true. I don't think anyone's actually found Bigfoot.
Listen, when you stick a trail cam in the woods, that giant shadowy silhouette on the trail cam in the middle of grizzly country
is going to be,
that's definitely not a bear. That's not a bear.
Like, wow,
that's what's happened.
About a red car, and now I'm seeing red cars everywhere.
It's weird, isn't it? It's crazy. And
Dad, do you think Bigfoot exists?
No.
Well, the absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence.
It's not falsifiable. You're right. I can't falsify it. I can't prove he doesn't exist. And that's the game they all play. And it's frustrating because we were at a place during the campaign where you had more and more people, independents. I'm going to talk about independents. I'm not going to talk about like establishment Republicans or anybody that's going to go check the box for an R just because there's an R next to their name. I'm talking about genuine independents finally understanding the issue of the establishment and the fact that both of these parties work for the same team. That's a huge reason why Trump was elected in the first place, because he was presented as that anti-establishment candidate. The Tim Pools, the Candace Owenses, the Charlie Kirks, the Nick Fuentes. I'll even throw Nick Fuentes in that mix. They all push this knowing it to be true. And then Trump comes in, absolutely just goes, as we talked about early in the show, goes the socialist route, goes the corporatist route, and now all of these influencers, all of these podcast creators, these YouTube people, they're splitting now. Trump pissed in the MAGA ball pit because you have one way or the other to go. You either
shocked by it. I really thought you
either go with Trump. Or you go the proper direction, which is realizing that Trump is just another shitty president in a long line of shitty presidents that doesn't actually care about the American people and only cares about himself and his buddies and making them more wealthy. And you end up in a place where Tim Pool and Candace Owens are, because now Tim Pool is trying to blame Candace Owens for the inevitable blue wave coming up here in the midterms in 2026.
Yeah, they're all blaming each other already.
And you all completely lost the fucking plot.
It's definitely not Trump's shitty policies that are going to cause the blue wave, or just his prodding and poking, because I feel like this time around, like, the agitation, like, in the very, like, you look back, and I guess, like, you're looking back through rose-colored glasses, but, like, the shit Trump was doing and saying that, like, as someone who was just getting into politics in 2016, was like pro-clutching. I remember being like, this guy's just such a piece of shit, and like seeing his tweets and just being like, sitting there and going, oh my fucking God, did anybody
said mean things?
Like, oh, what the fuck is this? This time it's not even as fun. Like
no, it's not.
Like, I was in the mindset I am now, and I look back at some of the shit he was saying, and I look at some of the like the retweets and the Facebook memories and the shit popping up for me now, and I look back and go, that guy was just such a fucking clown then as he is now. Like, that's just like, why did I even get upset about that? It's a fucking clown show.
Well, and you know what's funny about that is, like, you look at the tie-in. It's not funny. I shouldn't say it's funny, but it's.
He's just a one-trick pony. It's overplayed. Calling someone piggy in 2016 was like,
yeah,
like, versus now. Like, it's now everyone's just like, it didn't even make they tried to make it a thing, but it didn't really.
Yeah, when he's owning the libs, when the libs are in power, it's hilarious and it's great and everybody loves it. When he's trying to own the libs when he's in power, It's like it doesn't resonate the same way. And when you tie in Charlie Kirk's death and the Tim Pool versus Candace Owens war right now, and there are more people involved, but Tim Pool and Candace Owens are kind of at the top of everybody's Twitter feeds right now.
Erica Kirk's out there raking in money.
Yeah, because of what's going on. It does kind of give a little bit of credence to what Candace is saying, not for the reasons in which she's saying it, but it's like, if we kill Charlie Kirk, it's just another way to kind of bridge this divide away from the sort of the anti-establishment narrative, the anti-establishment rhetoric. Like, these people are just becoming more useful idiots, and it's beneficial to the establishment and it's beneficial to Trump if you're arguing about, did Israel kill Charlie Kirk? No, it was just Tyler Robinson that killed Charlie Kirk. And I don't know the answer. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I do. I think it's reasonable to be suspicious.
Yeah,
but
there's
also
a lot of weird things around it, right?
Sure. But what's the point of it? The point of it to me is, if we can get people arguing about who loves Charlie Kirk more and who killed Charlie Kirk more, it's just another distraction from the things that actually make a difference to the truth to power narrative of Trump is just another president. He's not uniquely terrible. He's not uniquely great. He's just another shitty president,
like we've
with
had
another shitty administration,
our entire lives,
in a long line of shitty administrations. And it sucks to say it, because
and that's just everyone gets wrapped up in the dumb shit, dude. Like, it wasn't Bill Clinton getting a blowjob in the Oval Office that is affecting our lives today.
No, I don't care. To this day, I don't care.
It was NAFTA,
especially when you consider who his wife is.
Right.
I mean,
no, right. But
right.
Like it was NAFTA. It was what were some of the other things he did? He helped, like, basically propagate the .com bubble, and the .com bubble is what led to the deregulation of the banks to try to stimulate the economy, which led to the Big Short, which led to the housing crisis, which led to the economic collapse, which in every single thing, it's a ratchet effect that just grows the government and grows the government and grows the government, to the point now where Trump is hitching right along to that wagon. He's over here putting golden shares into fucking companies that are being bought by foreign countries.
But we're arguing about, or I should say, Tim and Candace are arguing about who killed Charlie Kirk and why.
Yeah.
And not that that's not
the American
important.
people, the American individual only gets there's only so much of their day between them waking up and going to work and hanging out with their family and hanging out with their friends and devoting time to their personal hobbies and their social lives and things like that. You only get so much time to give them information about things that are affecting their day-to-day life and giving them the knowledge and the tools to be able to have an informed opinion on certain things. And it's being just consumed by bullshit like whether or not Trump should be on a dollar bill, or condemning socialism, or who killed Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, and let's be very, very clear. Who killed Charlie Kirk is important. I care. I want to know.
Right.
And Tyler Robinson, and this is a story that's been buried. He's going to trial very, very soon. He's finally going to go to court very, very soon. I'm interested.
He's claiming not guilty, isn't he?
I honestly, I don't know. But
I'll look that up.
I would imagine he's probably claiming not guilty. Bell, find out for sure for us. But like, that's a story that's been mostly buried. I mean, who's talking about the fact that Tyler Robinson's going to court soon? A few. I mean, the Blaze is talking about it. There's a couple publications talking about it.
The Blaze. When's the last time you even like really even saw like?
Oh, did Glenn Beck just had a meltdown like the other day? I can't even remember what it's about, but he just had a meltdown. Of the Blaze? Yeah, I think he owns it.
Has he always been a part of the Blaze?
Yeah. Where you been?
I just remember Tommy Lauren, and I remember everyone.
Just not watching enough Glenn Beck. Just not watching enough Glenn Beck. Oh, Tommy Loren she's died off because she was like that hot conservative girl. Now she's kind of older and kind of dried up, so nobody really cares anymore.
She's Halle Berry.
No, Halle Berry. Well, she's dried up, but she don't look dried up.
He has not entered the plea.
He's not entered a plea, so I think that's probably
I thought
the first
claimed
thing.
Not guilty.
Maybe that's speculation, but yeah, like that's coming around soon, and that's not what anybody's talking about. We're talking about the sort of independent media sides talking about Tim Pool and Candace Owens, including us. But I think what we're trying to do is demonstrate to you how little it actually matters. Don't get me wrong, it's fucking entertaining as hell. I find it so fucking entertaining to watch Tim Pool and Candace Owens go at each other.
Just how fast the whole like alternative media shattered and fell apart around Trump because it's not
because there's money, man. There's money. Like eventually, like if you get even as popular as Tim Pool,
the idealist contrarian, like fuck guys, stay out of our lane.
Yeah, even if you just get a little bit popular, somebody's going to throw money at you to say something, and we haven't experienced that to this point. I hope we don't. I mean, I hope we do, because that means we've made it somewhere. But, but like, I think I would hope that Corey and I have enough principles to not roll with that. You don't need it. I mean, honestly, the great example is
principles.
No, I mean the great example is honestly, it's Joe Rogan. I mean, Joe Rogan is the OG. He is the example of like, just do the thing that you want to fucking do, and you'll be successful. Be honest. Tell your audience the truth as you know it. Doesn't mean you're never going to be wrong. Of course you're going to be wrong. But the honesty is the part that actually matters. I mean, there are people that follow Joe Rogan, people that I know that, I mean, every guest he brings on, they believe every word out of that person's mouth. And I look at him and I go, dude, that's probably not how you should operate either. Like, not everything that every guest Joe Rogan ever has on is completely right about everything. But it's how he got to that point. People trust Joe Rogan because he's just who he is. He does the thing that he wants to do, and he has people on this show that interest him. So people trust him for that reason. Doesn't mean it's perfect. But that's the OG, right? Like, you don't have to push the bullshit. And if you push the bullshit, you will gain success. But there's going to be a time. There's going to be a time where it comes back around and bites you in the ass. That's happening to Tim Pool right now. That's happening. That might happen to Candace Owens at some point. She's obviously at her pinnacle right now. It's happened to everyone. It's happened to everyone except Joe. Wrong? Right? I'm right. I'm right about that. I know I'm right about that. I don't give a fuck. And you had Fuentes going after Tucker Carlson. I don't know if we need to talk about this. Bell's got the video queued up.
Cool. You play that. I'm going to go take a piss real quick.
All right. Go ahead and roll it, Bell. How long is it? Like 2 minutes? I might take a piss myself. Yeah, it's 2 minutes. For anybody.
So yeah, Tucker asked me a lot.
Doesn't see us. We're still here.
Stuff. He asked me about Charles.
Maybe not.
Johnson, about Andrew Anglin. Asked me about Peter Thiel. So, yeah, you know, and this guy, I've heard things about this guy since the dinner. I want this guy to stay the fuck away from me. I don't know who he is. But I'll tell you one thing. He is not who he says he is. Take that to the, if anything happens to me, whatever, take that to the bank. This guy is not who he says he is. Total faker. I could smell it on his breath. I have never met a faker human being in my life. And it's scary because he's an actor. And I don't play that way, you know? And I question anybody that can hang out with a guy like that. It's freaky. He's a handler. He handles people. That's what he does. He's a fucking liar and a handler. He goes around telling people, I don't know anything. I don't know. Oh, I know nothing. I don't even have a phone. I am just a clueless tourist. I just travel to all these countries and, you know, I don't trust him. And I don't care, you know, maybe that alienates me from people in the conservative movement. I don't care. I'm not going to be a part of it. I'm not going to be a party to whatever that is. Whatever that CIA bullshit is, I'm not going to be a part of it. So, you know, now that I've heard enough from Tucker and I've heard enough from other people and I've seen enough, this guy's not who he says he is. Not an ally. Stay the fuck away from me. You're weird, dude. You're weird. You know, I'm weird in the sense that I'm eccentric. I have a weird personality. You're weird because I don't know what you are. You're like a lab-grown human being. At least I'm real. It's relatable because I'm real. Flawed, filled with contradictions, certainly, but authentic. You, I don't know what to make of you. I don't know what the fuck you are. I don't think anybody knows what you are. Your dad's in the CIA. You go, I didn't know that. Oh, really? Just stop. Just stop with the cap. You can't even reason with the person like that because it's like you're just getting it's like talking to a police officer in interrogation. You just can't win. They're not there to be honest. I don't like it. Very weird.
Sometimes good super chatter sent $20.
Got super chatter at the end. So I don't know what to make of Nick Fuentes at this point because he's just basically going on sort of more mainstream shows and then shitting on people and shitting on whoever they are after he leaves, after he goes away.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, Tucker was all really nice to me. He was super nice and friendly at the dinner. And then afterwards, we went on his show and he was super nice. And then now he's just calling me an anti-Semite the whole time afterwards. I was like, well, you did say, like, actually, he said it on Piers Morgan, but he said Hitler was cool.
Yeah, I mean, he goes on Candace's show and then shits on her after. He goes on Tucker's show and then shits on her after. And people want to talk about, like, this guy's a Fed who's trying to make Tucker Carlson look bad so that the Zionist people follow Nick Fuentes. Like, what are you trying to suggest?
Don't make sense of it, man. Nick Fuentes is he's just someone who's like literally just having fun on the internet and making a living out of it. There's no way to make sense of it.
Dude,
He's found his audience who enjoys it. And for a minute there, he definitely moderated himself after Charlie Kirk died. And when you see the Piers Morgan interview, like you're seeing it start to falter and start to crack. Like he is. You can see that there is a concerted effort to push him back into like the basement. You know, essentially that's, you know, like
push him into the basement by bringing him on your show. Like, are you trying to mainstream him so that he says the horrible things so that he gets pushed back into the basement?
I think so.
Like, I don't feel like Tucker treated him unfairly on the show. Do you? You listen to it. I listen to it.
Yeah, he said that. But then afterwards, I guess Tucker has called him an anti-Semite and talked a little bit of shit about him afterwards, but like not to his face, and said it afterwards, and that's why he's like all bent out of shape.
Oh yeah. So Tucker gave an opinion, and it was like okay, so that's
he's
Nick Fuentes
really upset about it.
That's Nick Fuentes doing the Trump thing, right? Like, oh, you said a mean thing about me, so you're dead to me. Kind of thing. I don't know. I mean, we played all this and we said all this for me to say this. As Trump goes, MAGA goes. Division in the administration equals a divided MAGA. Charlie Kirk, completely bungled investigation by Kash Patel and his team. Candace went her way. Tim went his way. Nick went his way. Tucker went his way. And on a sort of whodunit, and followers followed. The Iran bombing. Neocons went their way. America Firsters went their way. And followers followed.
Continuing funding of Israel. Defending AIPAC. Neocons went their way. Yeah. I'm actually pretty surprised when it comes to the whole identity crisis that's happening within the conservative movement. Like, we've been talking about it happening now in our show, like basically since we started, because the Democrats have been going through an identity crisis since 2016. And I assumed that what we saw happening with the Democrats, I pictured it happening to the conservative, like Republicans and stuff like that. But I pictured it happening after Trump left the picture. I didn't picture it happening, 1 year into his first presidency. Like, essentially 1 year. 1 year since he was elected.
I mean, I pictured it happening at some point during Trump's presidency. I didn't expect it to be this fast. I really didn't. I thought Trump would be able to deliver on the immigration issue, and he sort of has, right? He's closed down the border.
In the worst possible way, though. Like, in the worst possible way.
No. What I was going to say is...
Sure, he closed the border, but at what cost?
Right.
Like, he completely cooked his whole young voter, like, his voter block of young people. He's cooked his minority vote. Do you think
but Corey,
the Republicans that he endorses?
But Corey, the border closing wasn't the issue. It's the ICE raids that are the issue. The border if it had just been the border closing... I honestly, I think he could have just stopped there. I think he could have just stopped at the border closing.
Like, it's like, why? Like, some of these people, like, why? I was just seeing a video about a South Korean who self-deported. He was a Purple Heart recipient. He was in the Panama. He got shot in the back twice. His name is Suj. Let me see if I can find it. I'll see if I can find his name real quick. But
no, that would be North Korea.
What?
Park. They're all named Park in North Korea.
No, that like his name, it might have actually been something like along those lines. Looks like I didn't save it.
That's okay.
But like Suj Young or something like that. I forget his name exactly. I'm not gonna try to sit here and pretend I know.
I can see Bell frantically trying to find it.
But Purple Heart recipient. He's like 58 years old. He came here when he was like 7. And after he was in the war and after he was over there and he got shot in the back twice, like, surprise, surprise, he had some PTSD and was into some drugs. And like 15 years ago, he got busted like for possession. It was like a misdemeanor. And they told him that he had to leave or they would force him to leave and like detain him and like kick him out. And so he self-deported. He left his son that he had here. He had a whole life here. He never lived in South Korea. And it's like, these are the stories that are like making you fucking lose everybody. And wait till the lawsuits start. Like, American citizens like being chased into their homes. There's videos of like ICE agents like chasing people going like, hey, come here, show me your papers, essentially. And it's American citizens being like, get the fuck away from me. Like, they're harassing just anyone and everyone. And I'm not talking about the people who are out there that are like throwing snowballs or doing anything like that when a nice raid is actually happening. We're talking about American citizens minding their own business and having brown shirts and masks show up to them being like, who the fuck are you? Give me your papers. Prove you're an American citizen. Like, what the fuck? Fuck you.
That was the bungling.
Yeah.
Like, if he just stopped with closing the border, that would have been fine. I don't think anybody
like,
was
good job
about it.
Yeah, good job, you fucking idiot. Now,
and he did do that.
People that voted for you, and dude, this shit, it's so fucking ridiculous. Like Trump won Dearborn, and now people are out here going, "Oh, Muslim Sharia law." It's like, you dumb shits. Like,
he didn't. I don't think he won Dearborn, but yes, he cracked that.
Okay, so
that voter base significantly. Yes,
all right. He didn't win Dearborn, but Kamala Harris lost her presidency because the demographic of people that live in Dearborn didn't go out and vote for her enough. Does that make more sense?
I guess. I think I think he more won because of Macomb County, but yeah.
Right. But there's a lot of Muslims in Macomb County as well.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, that's true.
A lot of Arabic people in Macomb County. A lot of
very true.
people in Macomb County. The Chaldeans and stuff voted for Trump.
Oh, dude. Speaking of which, did you see the video that was going around a couple of weeks ago? Not a couple of weeks ago, but a few days ago about the call to prayer at 5 a.m. somewhere? I think it was in Brooklyn. I don't quote me on that. It might not have been Brooklyn. And it was all about like, this is a war cry.
No,
this is the shit. This is the shitty part about the internet. It was a bunch of people because there's that Hispanic lady that's running for Congress, and she keeps talking about dirty Muslims, dirty Muslims, dirty Muslims. What the hell is her name? I can't remember her name. But she's talking about how we need to get all the dirty Muslims out. And you have, at the same time, you have Ted Cruz talking about how we got to get racism. We got to get racism out of the Republican Party. And Glenn Greenwald made this point. I thought it was brilliant. It's honestly, it shouldn't be that brilliant because it's pretty obvious. But it was brilliant. He goes, the Republican Party doesn't give a shit about racism. You can be as racist as you want to be as long as you're not shitting on what group, Corey?
Oh, what, Israel?
Just Israel, yeah. Not about racism. You can be as racist as you want to be. You can have this woman with a Hispanic accent running for a Republican seat talking about how the dirty Muslims all need to be deported. But we got to get racism out of the Republican
an Asian
Party.
Woman named Jasmine Early in Sterling Heights running on some bullshit and saying a bunch of racist shit.
Yeah, they don't care. It's not about racism. Nobody cares about racism in the Republican Party. Nobody cares about racism in the Democratic Party either. Not in any real way. As long as you support Israel, you can be as racist as you want to be. If you're in the Democratic Party, you can talk about how white people are horrible.
You can be racist in the Democratic Party if you're racist against the right people.
Right, and you can be racist in the Republican Party as long as you're not racist, or as long as you're not like shitting on the Israeli government. Who cares about racism in either of these parties? Go fuck yourself.
It's just the right kind of racism.
We haven't gotten to Milo on Tucker yet. You didn't even. You did watch it. You did see that.
I didn't watch it. I listened to it.
Dude, apparently nobody's gay.
No, but the Republican Party is full of F words.
Yeah, I think Milo separates those two words. Dude, I will say this about Milo Yiannopoulos, and I don't want anybody to take this the wrong way. The guy is really fucking entertaining. Would you agree?
100%.
He's very fun to listen to.
He's a professional provocateur and a real life troll, just like Fuentes is. And if you could look at them like that and not take anything they say seriously or to heart,
very successful,
but just picturing them as like an antagonist in a show, then it's just entertainment. Like that's what it is. They don't hold positions of power. They probably never will. Hopefully not. Jesus Christ.
And I've always thought Milo was full of shit. Like even back in the day before he got in trouble for saying that like pedophilia is okay or whatever the hell he said. I'm just, I know Milo likes to dig up dirt on people, so I don't want to misquote what he said. But he was, how he said, what did he say? He said that he was the one that was approaching the older man and that it wasn't really a pedophilia problem. It was something along those lines. And I got to tell you, after watching him on Tucker, dude, that dude is as gay as they come still. I don't care what he says. Dude, you are not fooling anyone, Milo. You are not fooling a soul. But dogs like him now because they used to be able to sense his evil, and his evil gayness. And they would bark at him. They don't do that anymore.
Didn't he make it racist? Yeah. When he says because he doesn't smell like black people anymore.
Yeah. He's like, oh, yeah, because he was married to a black guy. Which, by the way, my understanding is this. I could be wrong. Don't sue me for defamation, Milo. He still lives with that ex-husband. That black ex-husband of his. Tucker spends the whole time during this interview like he's a grandmother out to lunch with her gay grandson for the first time since finding out he was gay. He has no clue. Tucker has no clue where to insert his like trademark cackle. What is that? He doesn't know when to put that in anywhere during the show. What is that? He doesn't know when to do that.
Oh, we should have a Tucker Carlson laugh soundbite.
I will say Milo does make a few interesting observations during this interview, which just further solidified my suspicion that he is absolutely homoing out all over the globe, just dotting the map with wet sheets and Astroglide stains. He talks about how the gay taboo is gone, and I actually agree with that. And a lot of us find that to be wonderful, right? It's no longer taboo to be homosexual,
which is great because gay people, gay people just want to be able to live normal lives without people harassing them. So that's fine. I'm happy about that.
And grow pot and shoot guns, right? I agree with that sentiment, and I think it is good. But Milo's point was the gay taboo being gone makes being flamboyantly gay not fun anymore, right? Like there's like this almost graphical as you see the graph of homosexuality being taboo going down, you almost see the graph of like good gay art also going down. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, he was mentioning that in the interview. Yeah,
because it's so much less taboo. So like queens and like bull lesbians used to be like making a statement. You were making a statement if you were a queen.
It's like when punk goes mainstream.
That's exactly, Corey, you took the words right out of my mouth. Being gay isn't punk rock anymore. So the art sucks. I actually agree with Milo in that little sentiment.
Mm-hmm.
There are no solutions. There are only trade-offs, right, Thomas Sewell? The trade-off is the art sucks now. I actually think Milo was right about that.
Well, I don't know if I blame it on the gays that the art sucks.
I'm not blaming it on the gays. I'm blaming it on the fact that gayness is no longer punk rock.
I think art sucks now because of the fact that it's a tax haven. That's
art is a tax haven?
Oh yeah. Fucking Hunter Biden out here is selling holiday.
Yeah, but even indie art sucks now. But even indie art sucks now.
There isn't still out there rocking it. Ralph Steadman's out there still doing a fucking good job.
I mean, I'm sure there's still some stuff out there, but like, I don't know. There really is. There absolutely is there absolutely is a correlation between homosexuality going mainstream and art not being as good as it was before.
Right.
There's totally correlation. Doesn't
you don't have a bunch of what was his fucking name? Who's the guy who just ate one of his art pieces was just eating a bowl of cereal?
Now you have the guy in Brighton, Michigan, who just roasts mailboxes. Have you seen this guy?
Yeah, that guy's funny. He piece of shit.
It's actually really funny.
Oh fuck, what's his name?
I don't know, dude. Frank White?
No, he was very gay. He had the glasses. He had the hair. Like 70s or 80s.
What's Eugene Levy's kid's name? Is it that guy? The guy from Schitt's Creek?
Oh my god, dude! It's right on the tip of my fucking tongue.
It's fine. Are you stuck on finding this now, or can we move on?
You can
to the
keep
next
going
thing?
when I find it. What did he just say?
I don't know, Bell. What'd you say?
Dan Levy.
No.
Yeah. That's Eugene Levy's kid's name.
Yeah, what are you talking about? Sorry, I just went to grab a munchie.
Where's Bell been the last 10 minutes? He went to go eat mushrooms.
Ketos.
Daddy, you're my daddy.
No, what I was going to say is I think this is the reason why Milo, quote unquote, isn't gay anymore. Because it's not punk rock anymore. He's absolutely gay. He's not fooling anyone. But he just moves around to whatever the most controversial position is. Very, very, very similar to what I think Candace Owens does. I just think she's done a better job of it. So it used to be that being a promiscuous queen at maybe the most conservative publication, being Breitbart at the time, spouting off conservative ideas was super controversial. But what is it now? Boring! Now, being a homosexual or former homosexual Christian who supports conversion therapy is a pretty controversial place to be.
Andy Warhol.
You were thinking of Andy Warhol the whole time.
I was.
Corey's ADHD just came out hard right there. Did you hear anything I just said?
Something about being controversial.
Bell heard it all. Why isn't Milo?
Why isn't being gay isn't controversial anymore?
Right. So now, instead of being the promiscuous queen at maybe the most conservative publication at
I'm right on
at
track
the time.
Yeah. So now conversion therapy, that is the controversial topic, is something he's advocating.
As somebody who is a quote unquote former homosexual, who's absolutely
He
still
talked
homoing
about
out.
how he would just pour wax on his thighs. Like, what the fuck are you doing, you sadomasochist?
I mean, he was very open about how he would like see a basketball player on an airplane and then go to the fucking
wank it in the
bathroom
bathrooms.
and just fucking smash one out.
Mile High Club, solo style.
But I tell people, if you're going to listen to the Tucker interview with Milo, you have to watch it. Because I made the mistake of listening to it. And then I went back and watched like a chunk of it. And I went, oh, this is a totally different experience if you watch it. Absolutely.
He has his glasses on. I think they still have the chain. And he sits there and he takes them down and goes, listen, Tucker.
And crosses his eyes.
He's like so queen. Yeah, I need to watch the Tim Pool episode of.
Yes! Milo was on. We haven't watched this yet. And if we have a chance, maybe we'll talk about it next week. But that might be the only episode of Tim Pool I'll ever watch in my life because it's Milo Yiannopoulos and fucking George Santos on at the same time.
Oh, it's probably glorious.
I got to give Tim credit. That's great marketing. He's got idiots like us that have never had any interest in watching. I really want to watch now.
Yeah, those are my dream guests right there. It's George Santos and Blakely.
Milo Yiannopoulos and Milo Yiannopoulos.
Not at the same time.
Oh, we would have Milo on, 100%.
We would absolutely have Milo on.
But then he would absolutely try to find a reason to blackmail us because that's his whole game. You would try to find some blackmail for us for sure.
Yeah, I'll start.
Peekaboo.
There he is, George. Old Georgie.
We need to have him on. You got any TikToks for us tonight, Corey? We're getting down to the nitty gritty of this episode.
I do. I
did not mean to have that much product placement with Pabst Light, but I absolutely love it. Not a sponsor, but it's my favorite beer.
What do you mean, Dan? I don't understand.
I got you into the shit.
You did.
Just wait till Yingling Light comes out in this area. Then we're gonna have problems.
I'll stick with the PBR Light.
Okay.
This first episode, this first video, it's something we've talked about on this show before. But it's like basically it's extrapolating on the fact that like boomers fucked everything up, and then
Mhm.
boomers blame millennials
Because they
It's
can't
like
take responsibility for
their
the mistakes.
favorite thing to do. And so, go ahead and play this one, Bill.
You've done a hell of a lousy job.
He's trying. He's trying hard. His widow speaks coming out of the top of his beanie right now. Nobody can see it, but it's there.
Oh, you gotta dog my man like that.
I know, but I know. It's funny.
Example of
I think
slander
widow
are
speaks are
participation
epic.
trophies, because participation trophies were 100% the result of boomer insecurity. Boomers ordered these trophies. They demanded that they be given out to their kids when they lost at sports because they were insecure about the fact that their kid wasn't good at sports. This was a boomer phenomenon. We were just trying to play soccer. We were 7. We didn't care if we went home with a trophy. We weren't crying when we didn't win. Our parents were. They were the ones who insisted that everybody did a good job because they couldn't handle the fact that their kid didn't score any goals. And then 20 years later, they all seem to have been mind wiped and forgotten their little insecure moment at the soccer field and decided that we, as 7-year-olds, demanded to have trophies. Not how it happened. This is but one example of millennial slander, of which there are many, many examples. But this is possibly the clearest example of another generation having a little embarrassing moment and pinning it on us because we were involved. The single most undeniable example of millennial slander are the participation trophies.
They insult us in an attempt to gaslight us, and we will not.
Corey, I think there was a time where we talked about this exact thing on the show. Like,
oh, we've done it, yeah.
Boomers shitting on millennials for wanting their participation trophies when we're like, yeah, who the fuck gave us those participation trophies?
Yeah, we weren't in charge. We were kids.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. And you know what's
and if
funny?
it was, that's how irresponsible was that of you?
Well, and let me just
you guys
add
are the
this,
ones that let a bunch of fucking millennial children come into your colleges and tell them how to run the fucking joint.
Let me just add this to the participation trophy discussion. I remember when I played city baseball. I was not that good of a baseball player, or at least I wasn't a very good hitter. But I was an average baseball player who could field pretty well, but I couldn't hit, right? So I played on a city baseball teams where there was like 4 teams within the town, right? And since there were only 4 teams, there was a first place trophy, a second place trophy, a third place trophy, and a fourth place trophy. Let's be very honest. There was only 4 teams. So the fourth place trophy, and I would even argue the third place trophy, was a participation trophy. And all I can remember is nobody giving a shit. None of those kids wanted those trophies. Like, I remember, like, it being us being the first generation where you would like start sports and like they just like wouldn't keep score. But I remember keeping score. You know what I mean? Like, we were keeping score. The kids were keeping score.
Yeah, kids need competition.
We were absolutely keeping score. I played I was in Cub Scouts, and we played like Cub Scout softball when I was real young. And it was Cub Scout softball. Dude, so we'd play against other packs or like other dens or whatever from like other schools. And there was never a score. Trust me. We were all keeping score. We knew how many runners crossed that plate.
Oh yeah. And it's simple, dude. Like, so me and Belle, we both have 6-year-olds, right? And we took them sledding on a crisp hill where there was no one else sledding. It was just me and Belle.
They were racing, weren't they?
They weren't racing, but we didn't make the rules or nothing. They decided who made it the furthest. And then my kid would.
So it was a distance thing, not necessarily a time thing.
Yeah, my kid was doing this thing where he would stop and he'd push his sled forward and then get up and be like, "I made it further than you, Lorelei." And it was like, dude, don't be doing that shit. Like, that's cheating. Then we had to start instituting rules for them. But yeah, no, they're the ones that were in the competition. Kids thrive on that shit. They want that.
Yeah,
they want a bar to be placed and they want to raise it. It was the older generation who wanted to think that their kids are raising that bar, are the ones that instituted the whole fucking
No, dude,
participation trophy shit.
it's a huge problem even in youth sports right now, where you have parents, and even now, and we're talking about Gen X parents, maybe some older millennial parents at this point, that are putting their kids in sporting competitions, and they're making them focus on a single sport. Like if you're a baseball player, you're playing baseball year round. If you're a soccer player, you're playing soccer year round. Hockey is brutal because I was a hockey player as a kid, and this was a problem back when I was a kid. You were playing hockey year round. You were playing in the winter. You were playing in the fucking spring. You were maybe took a small break in the summer, but you were right back in the fall, right back in the winter, and there was nobody. You weren't playing any other sports because there's this weird thing where everybody thinks that their kid's going to go pro, and it just doesn't fucking happen. And what you end up finding out is that like a lot of the kids that do the best are the kids that are multi-sport athletes.
Mm-hmm.
Wrestling and football, or hockey and baseball, or you know what I mean? It's never, you burn your kid out. You burn your kid out. And like if your kid's good enough to be a pro athlete, that's great. But like that can't be the first fucking thing, I don't think.
No, you're probably spot on. So this next one, we were talking about it earlier. Like, why do all these young whippersnappers want socialism? Why don't they like capitalism?
Is this Ryan Grimm?
So here's Ryan Grimm.
God damn it.
Discussing something going on with a Walgreens that I think it was like, well, you want to know why everyone wants socialism? Here's a prime example.
All right. I'm willing to listen.
Go ahead and play that, Bell.
I actually like Ryan Grimm.
Video from the Walgreens worker who's talking about how they're not getting holiday pay this year. Every year before this, because the store is closed, they would all get 8 hours of pay. It's a kind of normal thing that happens in a functioning capitalist society because companies have to compete with each other for employees. And so they can't treat workers as miserably as they would like to if all they were doing was extracting every last ounce of blood from them. Well, the answer to this guy's question, why are these companies so greedy now, is that a bunch of them are now owned by private equity, which is just trying to extract every ounce of blood it can from these companies, after which it will then sell the real estate underneath these things, then lease the Walgreens will then like lease back the land, and then eventually they'll just loot the thing and file for bankruptcy. So Sycamore Partners completed its purchase of Walgreens in August of 2025. Clearly, they wasted absolutely no time dipping their straw into the milkshake of these workers' pay. You see the video from the Walgreens worker who's talking about how they're not getting holiday pay this year.
It's back again.
Every year before this,
started over again
because the store is closed. They would all.
That's exactly what's happening. And then everyone out there is working more and more for less pay, and being like, "There's got to be a better system than this." And here's the problem: true capitalism is the better system. Let's be honest, but they're all being fed that this is capitalism. So why would you not think like everyone talks about how this is this younger generation, it's the smartest generation, it's the most educated system. If they're all being told that this is capitalism, they have enough cognitive ability to go, this ain't what I want, dude. If this is capitalism, fuck that.
And it goes back a long way, because it goes back to, when your 7th grade history teacher would teach you that the reason that the Great Depression happened was because of the excesses of capitalism, when really it was because the central bank was created in 1913 and everything was sort of generalized into this blob of corporatism that was supported by people like John D. Rockefeller and others buying government and doing exactly what you said. The government's going to bail you out, or as Ryan Grimm pointed out here, you can just loot these properties and these businesses and then just claim bankruptcy at the end of it, after you've looted all of the money out of it that you possibly can't. Guys, that's not fucking capitalism. And anybody who thinks that it is, I don't know.
The one looting is the one doing the pillaging and the looting.
I would say go back to school, but school will just teach you that it was capitalism to start with. So, to be honest, Corey, I get it. Like, I really do get why young people that have nothing turn to socialism. It's really easy to do. I mean, I did it for a time in my early 20s as well. When you don't own anything and you just feel like you're just being crushed, it's really easy to go, all right, well, Big Daddy government says they're going to help me, so let's just grow the state and go this direction. I get why they go there.
Starve everyone out and then offer them empty calories, and they're like, well, this is better than starving.
Yeah, exactly. I just wish they would listen more. I guess that's what. How old do I sound right now? I just wish these young whippersnappers would listen more. But
there is no listening. What you're literally trying to explain right now is literally what I forget the girl's name, but we played the video a couple weeks ago of her talking about how she was a speechwriter for Obama and talking about how it doesn't matter how much facts or information or data we bring people about how Israel's in the right for what they're doing. All they're doing is seeing videos of destruction and children dying in Israel, in Gaza. And
yeah, no, you're right.
It doesn't matter what we say to them. They think it's a genocide.
Well, it is a genocide, but
right. And exactly. It's like, right. Like, it doesn't matter what you say or what I say, what we think capitalism is supposed to be, because people who have way bigger reach and are have way more influence than we do are telling people that what they're seeing right now is capitalism and that this is the best system. When
except for that's a lie.
Oligarchy and crony capitalism is not the best system, but they're all being told that and they're being gaslit. And so A plus B equals C, they realize like, oh, this isn't what I want. I want something different.
Yeah, I mean, except for that's a lie, and what that woman was saying.
And it's a lie that this is capitalism. That's what I'm saying. It's the perfect.
I got you. I think
so. We talked about this one for a little bit. The AI bubble that's coming. This guy is kind of breaking it down a little bit and talking about it.
Just please get to the first quarter of 2026.
Go ahead and play this one, Bell.
He's trying.
He's eating Cheetos. AI bubble.
There's a bubble.
Corporate has asked you to find the difference between these two photos. Exactly. You cannot look at this web of promises and handshake deals. It's a bubble. It looks like a bubble. And what is the one thing that we know bubbles do? Pop. Here is what most people miss. I love that Michael Burry of Big Short fame is now actively calling this out and betting against it. Everyone knows this is happening. So why is it happening? Ironically, it was Jeff Bezos in 1999 who best described what is going on now when referring to the dot-com bubble then.
Investors making a big speculative bet if they're investing in your company's stock.
Stocks are incredibly volatile. I believe that it's very easy to predict that there are going to be lots of successful companies born of the internet. They're going to have very large market caps. I also believe that today, where we sit, it's very hard to predict who those companies are going to be. But there are no guarantees.
Someone is going to win. Some amount of companies are going to realize this $5 trillion pie, but we don't know who yet. So investors are now acting like venture capitalists. Will it be any of these companies? Maybe. Potential big bets that might pay off. They know most of these bets are going to fail. Harvard published an awesome study on this. If you work in tech or have ever been in Silicon Valley, you know this, but over 75%, maybe more like 90% of VC-backed companies fail and never actually return any money to their investors. They do this because for every 10 Juiceros or Theranoses, there is one Uber or one Facebook that makes all of their other losses a rounding error. We are now seeing the VCification of our entire economy centralized into a couple of companies who have billions, if not trillions of dollars in their war chests to continue to fight a war of attrition until everyone else falls out. All of the economic growth in America over the last 2 years is artificially inflated because of this, which is a different kind of AI. What's different now versus even the dot-com bubble is that there has yet to be any proven revenue models that work at scale for any of these companies. I'll put it into context for you. For these companies to even make a 10% return on the amount of money that they've already invested, every person with an iPhone in America would have to be paying them $30 a month, or $120 odd per person with a Netflix subscription. Does that even sound possible? Of course not. It's all fake. It's all artificial. And that is the scariest part of this bubble right now, that there is actually no real value being created for the vast majority of people who are going to be negatively impacted by all of this change. Our economy is actually getting worse. The price of our utilities are skyrocketing because of these data centers that we are paying out of our own pocket to offset. And that's a whole other video that I'm going to make. It's a bubble, and the money's going to keep pouring in until it pops or until we have a winner. And the average person is going to lose. We are 100% in an AI bubble.
Yeah, I mean, the AI, the whole AI situation is just a microcosm of the entire economy, which I think is what he's.
Well, that's just it. It's like 4 or 5 companies, but it's only like 4 or 5 companies, but it's driving like a large portion of the GDP in our country right now, and it's based on what?
And
like there was like $500 billion. There is like $500 billion right now that is basically just being passed around between a few companies, and they keep talking about how this company is investing $100 billion in this company, but then like a week later you'll see this company is investing $500 billion in this company, but it's like the same 500 billion or 100 billion that's being moved around within like the companies. Like one's paying one, they're paying another, that one's paying this one. And it's just this circular thing that it's like the bottom's going to fall out.
And then you have a federal government that just keeps pumping dollars, and so many of those dollars.
I thought quantitative easing was supposed to be over.
Yeah, where are those dollars going? I'm talking about the dollars that are being printed. They're just being artificially pumped into the economy and reducing the value of your dollar. Where are they going?
Into artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
Or bombs being dropped on innocent people.
Just please make it to the end of the year so I can make my nut.
This last one, these guys make some really good points. I think we figured out a way to solve the pedophilia problem.
Solving diddlers. I like that title.
Go ahead and play that, Bill.
I'm glad you asked. And this won't be popular. You have to kill the kids too. Joking, not joking.
Just the hot kids?
No. I don't mean that. I mean, once a kid gets diddled, he's way more likely to become a diddler. So,
Milo would love Tommy. This.
I know you.
That's great math.
I know you just.
That's user smart.
So, if like the statistics show that someone who's been diddled as a kid, they're more likely to diddle kids when they're an adult. It's the same theory that we bring up on the show. Just feed the homeless to the hungry, and you solve the hunger crisis.
Yeah, hurt people hurt people.
So you got to hurt the hurt people.
Oh man,
end the cycle.
I could just see Tucker Carlson cringing at that video. What is that?
Seriously overweight.
I gotta go to bed.
Yeah, me too. Anyway, why don't you tell the people where they can find us, Corey?
Libservative Podcast is found on all social media and podcast platforms. Our website is libservativeshow.com. We can be found at Libservative on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, Instagram, and Twitter at LibservativePod. Our TikTok videos can be found at Libservative Podcast, and you can reach out directly at libservativepod@gmail.com. Subscribe today.
And for Mel the Bodysnatcher on the ones and twos, he as always has been Corey Walsh.
He's Dad Griffin.
It's been Libservative Intellectual Idiots fostering political and cultural literacy and the world's smartest internet show. And until next time, we are out of here.
Peace.
The great fundamental issue now before our people. We, the people, cannot turn back. Somebody must lead, or else the fight would not be made at all.